Hello everybody and welcome back to Anxious Me, my journey with Fluoxetine. And I got a couple things I want to talk about. For one, I just got back from a friend's house. And it was nothing planned, and it was actually a friend I haven't seen in many, many years, since well before my anxiety really got a hold of me. But I decided, the last few days I've been kind of lazy, so today I decided to go for a drive. And it just so happened when I went for a drive, I saw an old buddy of mine taking the garbage out, and this was just right down the road from my house. So I continued my drive, and I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder if he lives there. And then drove through town and came back, and on my way back home, I drove by that house again, and he was still there, so I hollered his name, and I hopped out, and I don't know, we just got to talking. I hung out there for half hour, so not too long. It was just enough time to catch up, and, we made plans to hopefully hang out again soon. And I'm just really happy to talk about that because getting out of the house is one thing. That's a step to take in getting better with anxiety and panic disorder and agoraphobia and social anxiety and, the list goes on. But I haven't actually tried to go and hang out with somebody yet. And I guess I never really thought about it, but I have thought about it, but I've never made a real effort to. Maybe once or twice, but so that was just interesting that I went, I finally went for a drive after like 4 days of being just a total shut-in. Not because I'm depressed or not because I felt anxious or anything. I'd just been relaxed and just kind of been chilling at home, And then the one day I decided to go out and drive, I run into an old friend and we talked for a while, and he lives really close to me, which is great for me. I got friends in my city, and most of the time I have to drive across town to go hang out with them, and that's kind of works against my anxiety and all my disorders. So him living close, and it was a good friend of mine, and we got along great. Nothing's changed between us. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but we still got along. We still talked how we used to. Over time people change. You'll have a best friend from 4 or 5 years ago, and maybe nowadays they're not the same person. You guys just don't click the same or whatever. But it was really cool seeing an old friend, and it was just like we just hung out yesterday. It was so common. We just opened up to each other, told him what I've been doing, he told me what he's been doing, and he's kind of the same way as me. He might be a little bit of an introvert, but he doesn't have anxiety or panic or anything. But he says he's always at home hanging out. If he's not working, he's at home hanging out playing video games. And so I really do think we're going to start hanging out some more, and I'm really happy to talk about that. And hopefully there'll be more updates on that. I don't want to be clingy though. I'm excited about having a friend to go and hang out with. But I don't want to try to hang out with them every single day and get clingy and get annoying or anything. So probably won't hear about it every day, but I'm looking forward to, some days getting out of the house and going out and hanging out with him, because it was really cool, and I'm comfortable around him and stuff. It was good times. I don't want to jinx it by talking about it, but that was cool. So that's the update on today. I did manage to get out of the house, and I actually went and hung out with somebody for a while, so that was really cool. The other thing I want to talk about, and it was a comment I got yesterday by a guy named Hey Joe Hayes. I've responded to one of his comments before. I asked him if it was okay that I bring up this comment he has. I'm sorry, I'm like swinging back and forth in my chair. But I asked him if it was cool that I bring this up, because, I could talk forever on this. So I'm going to read his comment first, and I'm going to respond to it and kind of give my side of it. So, and there's another comment I got too. I'll answer this next question first. Somebody asked me if I get crazy heart palpitations with my anxiety. Yes, very bad, to the point where I think I'm going to get a heart attack. And that's probably the same with everybody who has anxiety and panic attacks. But yeah, and it really set off my panic if my heart kind of like felt like it skipped a beat every once in a while, or a beat like it'd like slow down and then beat really hard and try to catch up and beat fast and slow down. Definitely, big time. Not so much lately, but that's definitely something I dealt with really bad, and it really messed with me. So anyways, back to Joe Hayes' comment. He said, "It sucks when there are people that just don't understand the depression and anxiety, the fear of leaving home, all the things that we avoid, things that will make us have panic and anxiety. At least in my own experience, those people get pissed off at me and tell me to change or snap out of it. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. I don't know about your experiences, but that's what I get all the time. it wears me down. Yes, me too. 100% wears me down, and I don't want to say I've lost friends, but there are definitely friends who gave up on me. In the beginning, when the anxiety was really starting to take place, when I was starting to actually be a shut-in and not want to go anywhere, all my friends and stuff would ask to hang out. They're like, "Oh, why don't you, come out to this place with us and hang out, or come out to my house and, they invite me out to social gatherings and stuff." And I said no so many times that they kind of just stopped asking me. And then I learned more about anxiety and panic and stuff, and kind of figured out that that's what I was dealing with. And then I became more open about it with my friends and told them about it. Like, I have anxiety, I have panic disorder, this and that. And I'm telling you, man, people who don't experience it don't know the power of it. And your mind is very strong, and panic and anxiety are absolutely real things. It's not something you can shake off. And that's to any... Maybe somebody found this video because they're trying to understand somebody who deals with anxiety and panic. And I'm here to tell you that you can't just, like Joe Hayes says, you can't just snap out of it. It's not an option. It's like somebody having, Tourette's and telling them not to twitch and have tics. It's like, I was going to say, it's like when you have to cough and like trying to hold it back. It's like impossible, but I guess you can suppress a cough. But I don't know any other comparison to it. And I've got that story so many times by my friends, and even close friends that have been with me pretty much every day through all of this. My neighbor, who I see almost every single day, doesn't know anything about anxiety and panic. He knows enough that to expect me to not, get out much and stuff, but he still doesn't fully understand it. Anytime I bring it up to him, he kind of just says, well, you just got to do it, man. You just got to tough it out and be like, I'm not going to be nervous anymore, and just be tough. He doesn't say be tough, but that's pretty much the message. Is just snap out of it. Don't be nervous. Just get over it. We're all here. Like, you have nothing to worry about. You're with your friends. You're with your family. We're in a comfortable place. There's no danger. All these things, and it's all true. You're with people you love and you're comfortable with, but it's all your mind, man, and it's very, very powerful. And I'm telling you, and Joe Hayes, I understand, dude. There is no snapping out of it, and it becomes frustrating because you wish you could. Like, you understand. Like, if you see somebody else freaking out, I don't know, man. It's just not possible. And you said it wears you down, man. It wears you down, and it did for me. Everybody thinks, like, for myself, and this is why I want to answer it in the video, because I could talk forever about this. People, I don't know about you, Joe, or anybody else out there, but people start to think that I use it as an excuse. There was a point in time where a lot of people did not believe that I had panic and anxiety and stuff, and they thought I was avoiding employment and avoiding hanging out with people, and I was just using this as an excuse. Like, some people think I didn't really even have it. And then when it became more apparent that I did have it, I started going to counseling, and it just started affecting a lot of aspects of my life. And now, I don't know. I can't remember where I was going with it, really, but it's just so frustrating. I'm so flustered thinking about it right now. The bottom line is, yes, man, I absolutely have gotten that treatment. Everybody tells me, just snap out of it. Just don't be nervous. Don't be anxious. Everything is fine. And it's like, yeah, I know everything is fine, but I don't know. It's a mental illness. As much as a lot of us don't want to admit it, it is a mental illness, and we are mentally ill. As normal of people as we are, we have a mental illness, and it's a chemical imbalance. And this is weird coming from me, because I've always been against medication, because I was mostly uneducated about medication. I thought it just made you a zombie. Every time you hear about a school shooting or some kind of tragic thing happening, you always hear, oh, they were on antidepressants and this and that. And I've seen so many people go through pill addictions, and I've seen people who have their anxieties and stuff. I've seen them freak out when they don't have their medication. So sounds weird coming from me because I used to be so against medication. But here's the bottom line, man, is it is a mental illness and it's a chemical imbalance. And for depression and anxiety and panic disorder and things like that, it has a lot to do with serotonin, which is why I take fluoxetine, which we still haven't taken it yet. I'm 20 minutes late taking it. It's a chemical imbalance, and that's what the Prozac is for, the fluoxetine. It replaces the serotonin that your body is not producing. And it's kind of the same thing with any other medication. If someone's diabetic, their body is not producing insulin. Sorry, I had to think about it. Your body's not producing insulin, so people with diabetes, they have to take an insulin shot to replace the insulin. It's the same thing with this. It is a mental illness, but it's also a physical illness in a way that people with depression and anxiety and a lot of other things, your body's not producing serotonin, or not enough to, keep you straight. And people with anxiety and stuff, we have that fight or flight moment, that moment of panic. And normal people deal with panic and nervousness and stuff, but ours goes from 0 to 100 really fast, instantaneously. We go straight to that feeling of like you're standing on the edge of a building or something, that feeling you get, or like when you ride a roller coaster and it's about to drop, just like that rush of energy goes up your body and you almost faint from it, and it's just really intense adrenaline. It's pure adrenaline. And that, at least for me, all my panic attacks felt like an overload of adrenaline, that fight or flight, and then I would be physically drained and mentally drained, can't think, can't really speak. Panic attacks, that could be a whole nother video, me talking about what a panic attack is to me, but it's all real stuff, man. And I feel for you, Joe, and that's why I wanted to respond to this, because this hits especially close to home. Not only because we share the same name, and that's the first time I'm saying this, Joe, but so many people in my life, I've always had a lot of friends, a big group of friends, and almost every one of them has given up on me over the years because of this anxiety stuff, and they think I could just snap out of it. And like you said, they get pissed at you, and like they would really get upset with me because they'd invite me out to like their birthday or like their kid's birthday or something. I'm at the age where a lot of my friends have kids, and sometimes they get mad at me, man. They get mad at me if I don't show up to their birthday party, their kid's birthday party, or, weddings. I've had friends that get married and I don't go to the wedding, even though I was offered to be best man and stuff. Between like 2011 and this year, 2015 pretty much. Between 2011 and 2015 was the peak of my anxiety. It was the worst. I missed out on a lot of things. I missed out on my own kid's birthday. My kid is 7 years old now. I shouldn't say too much about my personal life on camera, but 7 years old, and the first 3 or 4 years of her life, I missed out on birthdays and things having to do with school, and just I missed out on a lot of things because of anxiety, and it's embarrassing and it's shameful, and people don't understand that. They think we use it as an excuse. They think we're weak, when really, like, we're some of the strongest people around, because we're dealing with this constant mental torture. Like, you don't I don't know. I could talk forever on it. I get a little heated and flustered about it because, mental illness and anxiety and panic, it's no joke. And I used to give people crap who got nervous about going places, and I will never make fun of people who are nervous about stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm ranting at this point. Anyway, let's take the medication. This video is almost 15 minutes long, guys. Longest video yet. Down the hatch. So, as I was saying, it is a mental illness. Oh. It is a mental illness. It is a disorder. It is a chemical imbalance. And I went a long time without medication. This was the point I was trying to get to, and I keep rambling on and getting off track. I think medication is important. And for some people, the Xanax and the lorazepam and the stuff that kind of intoxicates you almost works for them, because if you're in a moment where you're going to freak out, you're going to panic, it's good to have that medication, because you take it and instantly it relaxes you. And I think that's for people who don't deal with anxiety every single day. Because if you're taking Xanax and lorazepam every single day, you're going to form addictions, and you're going to get withdrawals, and, you know, it's going to be a real problem. So, you know, I explained all this to my doctor, and eventually my doctor turned me on to Prozac, which is like a long-term thing. You take it at night or in the morning, and then for the next 24 hours, it slowly replaces serotonin and does its thing. It's not like an instant hit in the face with medication like Xanax and lorazepam is. So I think it was important that I started taking this, and I don't regret not taking it sooner, because I appreciate the steps that I took. I was able to deal with my anxiety. I was able to face it for a long time, face the panic attacks, experience that really, really low, and then, I don't know, did counseling. I took a lot of baby steps before I got to medication. And it's different for everybody. But I really encourage you, Joe Hayes, to consider taking the medication, because it helped me. It is helping me still. You know, I still deal with anxiety and, you know, panicky type situations all the time, but it makes it a lot easier. And I promise you, I know how it is to have anxiety and panic, and I understand that other people telling their experience isn't necessarily going to help you, because I've had plenty of people talk to me who say that, you know, I don't know, I do this and it helped me, and then in my head I'm like, that's not going to help me. And that's because I was still dealing with the paranoia and the what's it called, you know, when you think something's going to happen and it's not realistic, unrealistic. I don't know, I can't think. Anyways, I've been talking for like 17 minutes. I'm kind of losing my train of thought, and I apologize. I'm all over the place. But this comment really hit close to home, because I dealt with this for many years. I still do. You know, there's still people who don't contact me. They don't even try to hang out with me anymore, because they know I'll say no. So I have to go out of my way to ask them to hang out. And a lot of the time they'll be like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we can hang out. Because they know even then, like sometimes I'll put myself out there to go like make plans with somebody, and I'll flake out just because, you know, my anxiety. I get all courageous and I try to make plans, and at the last second I give in, because I don't want to have a panic attack, or I don't want to be anxious. I don't want to be out of my comfort zone. And then, you know, I feel good for a minute, because I'm like, okay, whew, I don't have to go now. I can relax. I can be in my shell. But then I feel bad. I always feel bad, you know. But since I've been taking, this is all before. This is all at the worst points and things like that. But lately, since I've been taking this medication, things have been a lot better. And I assure you of that. So I really hope you find the medication that works for you. I hope you keep trying, man. And I'm sorry for such a long video. This is 2 times longer than any video we've ever made on this channel. And I hope you guys kept up. I'm sorry it was so ranty. I was all over the place. This is not formatted in any kind of way. I didn't think of any bullet points that I wanted to make up, or that I wanted to plan, you know, points I wanted to make or anything. This is just off the head, man. And I understand it's all over the place, and I'm sorry about that. 20-minute long video of me just talking. Anyways, keep going, Joe. I appreciate you. I'm glad you appreciate me for making these videos. I mean, if you get the courage, it'd be cool to see videos from you, and I'd love to see your journey. And I think it's important for everybody who deals with this in the same ways to connect with each other and talk about their experiences, because even in my town, I know like 1 or 2 or 3 people who deal with it as bad as I did. I was worst case scenario. And there's only a few people I know who dealt with it like I did, or came anything close to it. And I can't connect with them because they're a shut-in too, and we just can't connect like that. So with us, we're strangers. We have a fresh start. This is how we're getting to know each other. It makes it a lot easier to open up to each other and talk about things. I'm still ranting. I need to keep this under 20 minutes because I don't know if this channel has enough credentials to record anything more than 20 minutes. So I'm going to go. It's a long one today, guys. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below. Obviously, I'll answer your questions. And if I get good ones, I'll make a whole video out of it and I'll rant for another 20 minutes. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. And the light just went out, and I will see you guys tomorrow.